Hi everybody, I'm Doug Reid and my wife Susan is behind the camera today. We make videos for Shopsmith owners and we also do webinars for Shopsmith Incorporated. Both of us were Shopsmith demonstrators for more than 2 decades and instructors as well. We get an awful lot of questions about how to lay out a shop. We kind of have the luxury of having a really nice space now. I've worked in some really tight areas before. I've worked in areas small as 6 by 9 feet. But now we have about 700 square feet, I guess. And this is a great time to show you what's going on in our shop because we have just completely reorganized it and the shop is clean, and I have to give Susan the credit for that. She's the one that has really done the bulk of this. So I want to invite you into our shop, see how we do it, and if you have pictures or videos of your shop, send them along and maybe we'll post them on our blog. The blog, by the way, is called shopsmithwoodworker.com. Thanks for joining me here today, and hope you enjoy. Of course, the heart of my shop is my Shopsmith Mark 7 that you see there, but I am going to pivot around, and I'll come back the other direction here in just a moment. Let's start off here with the entrance door. On the back of the entrance door is a shoe rack, and that's just a great place to hang safety gear, aprons, anything that's difficult to hang somewhere else goes on the door. And then as we move around, you'll see the Shopsmith dust collector. I've had that for more than 25 years, and it's worked beautifully the whole time. And then you'll see a wall of hand planes, chisels, marking tools, measuring tools, and then down below there is my bench. And just to the left of the bench is a little space heater, and just something to knock the chill off. This is a basement shop. And you'll see the rack there, that's just commonly used waxes and lubricants and glues and things. And then I'll pivot on around again to the right. Here you'll see the wall of clamps. We're looking really into the corner there. And below that you'll see the Shopsmith professional planer. And almost all the tools that I have, I've had between 25 and 30 years, and that's another tool that's just served me very, very well. And I'll pivot again. Unfortunately, there's a couple of poles in the middle of the shop, so I can't do much about that, but I do use them to best advantage. You'll notice up here a little shelf that I built, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So we have the commonly used accessories for the Shopsmith Mark 7, the extension tables, extra saw blade, and the red devices you see there are all the tools that are made by Incra for the Shopsmith. The sliding table, the Incra miter gauges. I like their tools a lot. And then you'll see a photograph here. The top one is a picture of some kid doing woodworking. We taught woodworking to kids for a while, and below that is a photograph of my late father-in-law, who was a terrific guy, and I learned a lot from him. He was a pattern maker for more than 50 years. Now as we move to the other corner, I think this is something that everyone might benefit from. Back here I have the scroll saw stored, but right here is what I want to show you. We have a joiner, just above that the belt sander, and just above that the strip sander. And those are mounted directly onto the brackets, and the brackets are mounted onto studs. Those are L-shaped brackets that I had made at a local machine shop, and they were pretty inexpensive. I don't know what they were, but those are lag bolted directly into the stud so they can handle the weight. But also by stacking in this way with the heaviest one on the bottom, they're easy to get to, and even Susan can reach up and get the tools that she needs. Now right on the floor below the joiner is an invention of mine. This is something I've been working on, and it's a way that I can mount a chop saw onto my Shopsmith Mark 7 and use the Mark 7 as a base for the chop saw. I mean, I can also use the Mark 7 in the table saw mode at the same time, so if I'm doing rip cuts, I'll do that on the Shopsmith, and then I can do my cross cuts or my compound angles with a chop saw. It works out just fine. If anyone would like a set of plans for that, let me know. There will be a charge for it, probably $15 or $20 for the plans. They'll be full-size plans, but I think it's a great device, and certainly you can make your own easily enough. Now this wall really isn't complete yet. I should mention the shop, you look at this and you think no one's ever cut a board in here. We have just sort of remodeled the shop, and we're not quite finished with it, but it wouldn't normally be this clean. This is the first of my power stations, and just to the right of that is another power station with the bandsaw attached to it. Because I use the bandsaw an awful lot, I like to have that keep set up on a separate power station whenever possible. I do have the Krieg fence and jig for my Shopsmith bandsaw. And here's just extra blades. Now this little lawn ornament you see here, the reason I include this, this is a craft item that we made for a while, and she kind of has a place of honor because she has made us enough money to pay for every tool in my shop plus a whole lot more. So it was a nice profitable little business. Now here you see a set of cabinets. These were reclaimed from some job site. I got them from a guy who had ordered them and they were mistaken, so I got a pretty good price on them. And drawers down below, a little desk area. That's a reclaimed countertop there, and there you'll see some roller stands. Nuts and bolts, screws and washers. This is all pretty much really dedicated to the Shopsmith tools that you see there. And I run a long power strip there. These tools you see are just really antique tools that I have just because I like to look at them. I just like old tools. And then up above in the cabinets are, there's routers and jigsaws and all those kind of hand power tools that you can think of. And down below we've got other tool storage. This is all drill bits, believe it or not. Drill bits just seem to really add up, but they're great to have. Now let's walk on around. I always have a shop radio. This is my old Shopsmith router table. Somewhere along the line it got a corner broke off, but it still works fine. That's a handmade or homemade fence that I put on there. And some my cordless drills and other miscellaneous items are up above there. This is another router table. This is the one that's the tilting router table, which is comes in really handy sometimes. And down below is tucked in the Shopsmith router table that fits on the end of the Mark V. And then as we go towards the back, you'll see that there's a lot of storage here on these shelves. I have two grinders set up. The one here on the left is really set up for doing lathe work, lathe chisels, and then the one on the right is for more general purpose grinding. And I'm probably going to reverse those because my turning work is usually done here in the back. And you can see other storage shelves as we go on back. Here's the old 1953 Shopsmith that I have, and I got this from one of the original owners, founders of Shopsmith, a fellow named Bob Chambers. And I keep it original because it does have some historic value. As you can see, I have more chisels than any human being ever needs, and this isn't probably half of them that you're seeing there, but this is the lathe turning area. The floor, by the way, I should mention, this is something we just put in. This is one of those padded floors. It's a 1/2-inch thick foam material. It has interlocking seams, so it's easy to lay down. And to me, the jury's still out whether or not this is a good choice. The good part about it is it really feels good on my feet. It's much warmer, and I like the looks of it. What I'm concerned about is how well it's going to hold up. So I think we're going to have to be careful and baby it for a while. I should mention that a good deal of, well, most of this shop cleanup and reorganization is my wife Susan's doing, and I have to give her credit for it. It does look nice. This is another power station with a strip sander set up on it, and I have the Shopsmith sharpening tool for lathe chisels for that as well. And just to the right of that is just wood storage. Here in the middle of the shop sort of is one of those big racks you can get at Home Depot or Costco has them. And they're really nice because it comes with rollers and you can move it around. And this is where all the nuts and bolts and screws and hardware that we just collect over the years. And you can't see the back side, but there's another side to that. And it can be moved around. And it sort of hides the furnace, what you see there. Now, we're looking at the middle of the shop here. This is my DeWalt compound miter saw, and down below is just a storage cabinet. Now, back here on the other side, this is just a wall of different jigs, a lot of them that are homemade, some that are purchased, and a little PVC stored back there, other wood storage. This wall is really metalworking and construction type tools, wrenches and pliers and things, a couple of chargers for the cordless drills. So I keep that separate from the woodworking stuff. And that puts us back to gone all the way around 360 degrees. Now right in the middle of the shop is this table. And I picked this up, well, there was a local Nordstrom's going out of business. And this was a table they use as a display table, and it's a nice heavy-duty table, and I can use that for assembly or whatever I need it to be. And then here I want to show you something that I just got. Actually, Susan bought this for me for my birthday. And this is a monitor that's hooked up with an Apple box. And what's so nice about this is when I'm shooting video on the Shopsmith, I can actually watch what I'm doing on this monitor. In the past, I had to try to look at a very small screen, and that wasn't easy to do. So this is a 22-inch television monitor with the Apple box. And if I happen to want to, I can sit down here and watch YouTube stuff or Netflix, anything I might want to on this box as well. So it's a great little man cave shop hideaway. However, as I said, the shop belongs as much to Susan as it does to me, and she's a very experienced woodworker as well. She helps me in all of my videos and projects and things. And finally, here's the accessory shelf that we use to store all of our commonly used Shopsmith products. You notice there's safety gear there, the rib fence, there's a square on there, the drill chuck, the sanding disc. So pretty much all the parts and pieces are easily accessible, and I highly recommend having that accessory shelf. That one's available from Shopsmith. I think that's it for now, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. And if you would like to have an invitation to one of my free Shopsmith webinars, just contact me at the email address. And if you have pictures of your shop or ideas on how to lay out a shop, send them along to me. I'll post them on my blog, shopsmithwoodworker.com. Thanks again.